Hey, yo. Hey, listen, man. You got 10. 10 minutes with Larry with Burp. We're talking sports today. What we talking about, Burp?
Man, first of all, we need to talk about Kyron Lacey.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to Kyron Lacey.
Yeah. So, Kyron Lacey, if you don't know, was the LSU superstar who was projected to be a first-round NFL draft pick. Straight up out of LSU, actually led LSU in receiving this year, was phenomenal athlete on the field, but off the field, he began to have some trouble, and now he's not with us anymore.
It's crazy, man. We don't know the full story right now.
Yeah.
But we do know that he had gotten into some trouble back in January. He got into an accident. He was driving recklessly. He hit another vehicle, which killed a 78-year-old man and injured 2 other people. He was arrested, but he was let out on bond. I think $151,000.
$151,000 bond. They said that's what it was. He was let out on that. He was facing charges about that. Actually, today, grand jury was about to convene, about to see if they was going to bring some more charges against him and to see if he was going to have to stand trial for the hit and run. They said, what like you said, he was driving recklessly, caused the accident because he caused another car to swerve and hit another car, which killed the 78-year-old man. And then he fled the scene from that. They said he didn't render aid, so they charged him with all that. And grand jury was going to evaluate the evidence today to see if he was going to be charged with anything else.
Right. Right. And so then on yesterday, the story is that he got into an argument with a family member at a family member's house. He discharged a gun, and he shot into the ground. Someone called the police. He left before the police arrived. When the police were out, they saw his vehicle somewhere. They tried to apprehend him, but he took off. He fled the police. It turned into a high-speed chase for several miles. Then they said the vehicle lost control and got into a wreck. But the police said when they approached the vehicle that he was already passed away. It looked like a self-inflicted wound.
Yeah.
That's what they said. Gunshot wound.
Self-inflicted gunshot wound.
So they're saying that's why they think he crashed, because they think they shot him. He shot himself before he crashed.
While he was driving, he shot himself while he was driving, and which caused the crash. Right. And this whole story is just so sad. His dad actually put out a message about checking your family members' mental health and just checking on your strong friends and making sure they are right. But this whole story is just the way this whole thing played out from beginning to end is just sad, and our hearts and our prayers go out to him, the LSU family, and anybody that played with him, and just anybody going through anything out there, period, man, because it don't got to end like this.
Not like that.
It ain't got to end like this.
He was a projected top 10 pick.
Top 10 pick. He about to get paid.
I followed him, and he was the one. He would score a touchdown. He would do the trip out dance. Yeah. He would always do that. And even on his TikTok, he would always do, a lot of people started doing that because they saw him doing it. But to see that, man, it's sad. It's sad. Make sure you check on your friend.
And a lot of people was comparing him to another LSU wide receiver, Justin Jefferson. It was like he was going to be the next Justin Jefferson.
Oh, no, he was nice.
League. No, he was like that.
Yeah.
Now, he was definitely like that on that field, but like you see people go through this off the field, even from the hit and run incident, man. It's like, yo, like, boy, them boys get them. And now with NIL deals, these boys are able to get those cars and get the scat packs and all that, and they go out there and try them out. We've seen it play in the league with Henry Ruggs. And the boys got these Corvettes and these fast-ass cars, and they go out there.
They don't know what to do with it.
They be trying to see what to do with it.
But
now that's
give
crazy.
a kid a lot of money who's not used to having anything, and some of them don't know how to act. We've seen it play out well for some. LeBron James. Yeah. 16-year-old, millions of dollars, and he's never gotten in trouble. But for some, you have to have the right people around you to keep you grounded, to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do so you can see that money later on. He's never going to see this money. His family's never going to see what he could do on the field, on an NFL field. So just make sure you check on your people, man.
It's going to be interesting to see what the NFL does, if they do anything surrounding the draft, because I can see the NFL trying to do something for this young man and his family, whether it's like, doing a mock draft pick of him or just, just saying something about him during the NFL draft. But like I said earlier, man, our hearts and our prayers definitely go out to him and his whole family, the whole LSU fam. It's gonna be a tough road up for his family. That's what his dad said. His dad said that in his message, like, our lives are forever affected and forever changed. So
yeah.
All right. Also in sports, boy, everybody's talking Dawn Staley and the University of South Carolina women's basketball. Their transfer portal is transfer portaling.
You've seen it work in good and bad ways for her, and even across the college sports spectrum.
Yeah.
You've seen it with the Tennessee quarterback.
Yep.
He's now entering the portal. He's going to go somewhere else because of the NIL.
Well, he said he want $4 million.
God, boy.
He already getting $2 million.
First of all, little boy,
I ain't mad at him, though, Bert. At first, when I first heard the story, because he was already getting $2 million, then, you look at this young man and what he's done for the University of Tennessee. You look at that stadium. Stage packed. His jersey is on. A lot of fans back. You talking about over 100,000 fans a game in Tennessee? Man, I ain't mad at that, but get your money. I am the face of the Tennessee Volunteers.
Get your money,
right
but
now.
These kids need to go under contract. Because it's now a business. It's no longer just going to college to get an education. These kids are going to do business deals. When they getting recruited, they like, all right, look, what can you assure me? Am I gonna play?
Yeah.
And how much money am I gonna make?
You're right.
That's a job interview. That's what it sounds like to me. They ain't getting recruited no more.
But in essence, that's what it is. But speaking of the transfer portal and the University of South Carolina, Dawn, like you said, has worked both ways for her. She got a big announcement at getting the number one scorer in college basketball coming into South Carolina.
From Florida State.
Then about less than a week later, one of her top recruits over the last couple of years, Malaysia Fuwale, said, I'm out of here.
I figured that was going to happen when she said she was getting the top scorer in D1. But she never let Fuwale off the leash.
I'd say the same thing. I said the same thing.
She was a top recruit.
Yeah.
Coming out of high school. She was the top recruit.
I
coming
agree.
out of high school.
I agree.
But she never started when she was at South Carolina. But she was a game changer in the Final Four. She was the reason that they won in the Final Four and ended up going to the finals. She came off the bench. But it seemed like she always had the leash on her and just would not let her play her game.
Yeah. Well, I think, she created a role for her in her coming off the bench playing with the second unit. And it was kind of like James Harden when he was in OKC. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You come off the bench because, you got in OKC, you had Westbrook, you had Kevin Durant. And it's like, then with James Harden, it was just, it's not you can't shut a basketball enough.
Yeah.
So with Fuwale, I think she needed a place where she could function and just be who she wanted to be. So that's why Dawn brought her off the bench. It's like, you with the second unit, you go do your thing. However, I agree with you, Bert. Like, I don't feel like she really never, ever let the girl off the leash.
Never let her off the leash, man. Like, you got somebody that's that talented, you got to let them just show what they can do. Yeah. She gonna mess up. She gonna mess up at times.
But that doesn't always fit with team basketball.
True.
You know what I mean? So,
but this South Carolina team needed that one person that was just going to be a bucket.
Yeah.
Somebody that could get you some points whenever you needed some points. And I don't think she played her enough to where she could get into the rhythm of the game.
Yeah.
Because with basketball is all about
it's
the
a rhythm
of the
sport.
game.
It's definitely a rhythm sport for some people. You know what I mean? Some people, they just show up their own, like Steph, like people like that. They
just
own.
There. As soon as they step in, schwackle.
Well, she hasn't said where she's going to school yet, so that's speculation. Everybody's saying where she's going to make her decision. I'm sure she's probably in there trying to get some NIL money as well. So
where you going?
We're going to see where Fuwale is landing. Last but not least in the world of sports, everybody's talking about NBA basketball playoffs. Playoffs is here this week. The play-in starts when tonight or tomorrow night. Out west, but that thing got crucial with Steph Curry and the Clippers vying for that 6th spot. The Clippers won the game, which knocked the Warriors down to the 7th spot in the play-in, and they got to play the Grizzlies in the first round. Or the play-in.
Let me tell you something. These playoffs, I don't care what nobody say. In the words of Shannon Sharp, Lakers in 5.
That what you going with?
Lakers in 5.
That's your early prediction?
That's what Lakers in 5. Okay. Huh? What we doing? What we doing, Larry?
And you know what? I was having this conversation the other night. I think the Lakers can run the table. I really feel it. I feel like with LeBron and Luka healthy, in a 7-game series, they're going to be a tough out.
Yep. The East is top heavy. The East is more top heavy than it is. I don't see no teams on the bottom half really making a run.
It's either Boston, Cleveland, or The Knicks.
Yeah.
Boston, Cleveland, the Knicks.
Top heavy.
And right now, I'm still leaning with Boston. They the champs. They got the most experience out of all the teams in the East. A lot of people are talking about Cleveland's record. They're not experienced. However, they do play great defense.
They do.
You're not going to be able to drive that ball to the basket on them Cleveland Cavaliers. You're not going to do that. However, they got small guards, though. So you can body them up. You can hold them from scoring, too.
I'm just saying, the Mavericks traded away Luka Doncic. They now in the 10th spot. They're the very last play-in team.
Yeah. Well.
And the Lakers, number 3.
LeBron and Luka's going to be a tough out. They're going to be a tough out.
What?
Hey, man, you got 10. That's your 10 minutes with No Limit and Burp.